This is my first time spraying metallic paint. In fact, it's my first time using metallic paint at all. Keep watching so that you can also spray and brush metallic paint as well. Enjoy this video. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Meg, and if you're new here, welcome. Okay, so today I am spraying metallic paint for the very first time, and I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm going to be working on this dresser. And it is in perfect condition. I know that bothers some people, but whatever. I'm giving it a makeover because this dresser was actually for Let It Shine metallic paint challenge on Instagram. And so this is the piece that I wanted to use for that challenge. Now I took out all of the old paper. It had the Malcolm stamp in it, which I saw when I was taking out the paper. Dovetail joints. So the drawers are solid wood, but the top unfortunately isn't. I realized that as I was sanding it. And these handles I am definitely keeping. As I was going along, I noticed that inside it was really clean. The drawer runners were perfect. This is probably the one piece of furniture that I have gotten that is in great condition. Nothing needs to be fixed. I just need to do the prep work and get started on this piece. So I started sanding the top with 80 grit sanding disc. Sometimes I use 60, but I knew that I didn't want to go through the wood veneer on the top. And so I was trying to be really, really careful. It did take some time to sand this top, but I got it done and it looked beautiful. Now, because the trim on the edges were different from the top, I decided that the top I was only going to make wood. I scuff sanded the trim once the top was sanded down to whatever it was, the wood veneer, and I used 220. Now I use 220 all the time. I scuff sanded the entire piece as you can see here, and then I started to clean it with the Furniture Prep Clean Spray. I leave this on for about a minute and then I use a rag to wipe it off, and then I spray some water onto it just to take off any excess cleaner because you don't want that under your paint. For the top, because I am spraying this metallic paint, I covered it with the painter's plastic tape roll. I love this painter's plastic tape. I get it off of Amazon. I get about 2 rolls at a time and it lasts forever. So as you can see here, I made a gap at the front there because of the shape of the trim, which would be difficult to go around. So what I did is I got some really thick green tape, taped that over the edge, and then went around with my X-Acto knife just to shape the tape, which turned out really, really perfect. Just like that. As you can see here, I started to prime already. I did 2 coats of primer. Now I was told that priming will bring out the metallic paint pigment better. I don't know because I've never painted with metallic paints, so I did what I was told to do, and it did work. It worked out really well, but I will definitely tell you I did go wrong along this journey of spraying metallic paint at the very end, and I will show you what happened and what not to do. So I made sure I got the legs, the sides, and as I said, I did 2 coats of the primer. So here's a close-up of me just spraying the second coat of primer, making sure that all of the areas were completely covered. I also got underneath as well and along the bottom trim. I wanted to make sure that the primer had really good coverage and that there weren't any patches. So here you can see I've started to spray the metallic paint. This one is called Champagne. You can see my reflection. You can see the reflection happening as I'm spraying. And so I was starting to see some shine, and I did about 2 coats of the metallic paint. And you can see on the drawers here also that it's shiny. Now, I had realized and noticed that brushing on metallic paint, and I was told this as well, that the coverage isn't great if you're brushing or rolling, because the metallic paint is much more thin than regular paint. So I had rolled on the Ivory paint, as you can see on that top drawer, and the Ivory is also metallic paint, and I did try to brush it to see what it would be like, and it was very, very thin. So if you are brushing on metallic paint, you are going to have to do 3 to 4 coats. This took about 3 to 4 coats for me rolling on the Ivory paint. And I found that rolling was much better coverage than a brush. But spraying it, I realized that spraying it gives really good coverage. So if you want some good coverage with your metallic paint, the paint sprayer is the way to go. And I only had to do 2 coats of the metallic paint, and I did 3 just on the edges where I saw some patches. But that was pretty good. So I will be spraying metallic paint from now on. You can still brush it on, you just have to do more coats. Now I did some stripes on the sides here and a stencil, and so I took my sprayer because you could see lines from the stripes, and I used the Champagne metallic paint to do this, and I just sprayed the edges so that they were softer and blended into the stencil. I didn't record doing the stencil, it just came to me suddenly and I just did it right away, but it brought so much character to the piece as well. This was the most satisfying part, is taking off the tape and seeing the stripes come together. So what I wanted for this challenge that I had submitted to, I wanted the top to also be shiny. So I started to do the beige wash that I always do on raw wood and sprayed the hardware so the hardware would be sparkly, and I used Champagne Mist and Rustoleum metallic spray. And at the end here, as I got everything together, I needed to touch up all of the trims on the drawers so that there wasn't messy primer showing, and I used the Champagne metallic paint to do this. And also seeing here, brushing it on, I had to do 3 coats on the trim because I'm using a brush, and like I said, the metallic paint is much thinner than chalk paint. Now here's what happened. You can see the shine and the sparkle in the corner there. It was so sparkly in the light. I was so happy. And I used high gloss finish top coat. What happened was, and what I've learned, is that high gloss top coat can actually diminish and sort of dull the sparkle of the metallic paint. I was a little bit upset, but it still turned out amazing. It still was shiny for that challenge that I had submitted this to, and it still looked absolutely beautiful and amazing. But I will say, do not use high gloss finish on metallic paint if you want the sparkle. I would say to use a more matte top coat, or you could brush it on. It might have been better if I had brushed it on. I'm not really sure. That part I still have to figure out, but I did ask some friends afterwards and they said to use more of a sort of clear coat. So, which I have, and next time I will do that and see how that works out as well. So I added all of the hardware that looked absolutely amazing. And here's the before. Beautiful piece, like I said before. Just a couple of scuffs that were sanded off. Now, I had mentioned or had forgotten to mention this piece came with a mirror, but I did not include the mirror. And here it is here. Oh my goodness, it turned out so beautiful. I absolutely love how it turned out. It's probably my most favorite piece. Now, the high gloss finish did make the top shine, and in the light I could see it shining, which is what I wanted. And here are my final pictures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you with painting with metallic paints. I will see you next week.